Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we are saying goodbye to an old friend, the Algerie. Basically, we're saying goodbye to the Tier 6 cruiser of the French. Recently, I was able to finish her off tech tree wise, and it's time to go ahead, unfavorite her, and put her into the back of the port because we're on to Charles Martel. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So this is our last game before we fully ranked out of it. So let's go ahead and enjoy. As far as a build goes, Commander, we're running Andre Roux with Baltimore as the inspiration along with Mimbelli. Then as far as the build goes, we're using Ingenious, Full Speed Ahead, Sponge, and Steer Clear. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get wide on this map. Algiers, really long range guns, fairly accurate, doesn't have a lot of armor to stay up to be able to like kind of fight in brawl, so we want to stay at range, and that's just what we're going to do. This Mutso is pushing in. We're going to go ahead, try to kind of distract him, pull whatever we can, and then just start firing our HE salvos at him. Of course, AP is usually preferable in the French ships as it does fairly well, but the HE is nothing to sneeze at. French HE seems to have really good preference for setting fires when it shouldn't. Like, you look at the HE fire chances and you're like, that's okay. And then as you play the ship, it just continues to set fires for you, and you're like, you're really outperforming what you should be having for fires, aren't you? But anyways, fire chance on these shells is 15%, which is pretty decent. And with the 8 guns, you will get those fire chances. Anyways, we go ahead, fire a long range torps, thinking maybe if Mutso decides that he's just gonna sail straight, we'll catch him out. He goes ahead, and I believe he damage conned our first fire, so we're gonna go ahead and try to get that second fire. There we go, beautiful, and now it's time to start burning it down, and that's just what we're going to do, taking advantage of all of the smoke. There are a lot of DDs active in the area. They've all decided to they've all decided to go and hide, and we'll take advantage of the smoke where we can. Of course, plane does go up, so we do start to get spotted, but it was a nice couple of free shots that we could take, and we're going to go ahead, start to reposition once again. And it looks like our Fubuki has some pretty good torps lined up, so we'll see what they do over here. Our torps going a little too far or a little too short. Either way, yep, Fubuki hits a couple of torps. Mutso really hurting now, most likely also has a flood on top of that permafire, which means he's going to be really hurting. Someone else knocks him with a salvo. Ismail goes ahead and knocks him, and that's beautiful, because that means we can now go ahead, pushing the cap. We're a cruiser, so we are going to go ahead. We know there's a destroyer in the area because we saw the smoke pop up, and there's no British cruisers on their team, so we kind of have an idea. It has to be a destroyer, and as a cruiser, our job is going to be hunt down those cruisers. We have our plane up just in case some preemptive torpedoes start coming, and I think we'll end up popping sonar fairly shortly, but we're going to go ahead, push into sea, see if we start contesting it or see if we start capping it. We switched over to HE just to make sure that when we see those destroyers, we are ready to take them down, and we will go ahead and continue this little push. But as we get close, we get spotted, and we see a New Orleans that's not quite broadside, but broadside enough for us to go ahead and tempt the fate and switch to AP. AP on these ships is nasty. 4,800 damage for each shell that hits, so it can absolutely hit like a truck if you can find a ship citadel, and that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and try to search for. New Orleans, having pretty decent concealment, is able to dodge our first salvo, and he realizes that he's starting to be in trouble given where he is on the map. But as we start honing in on him, Guide pops up. We go ahead, pop our sonar, and start to chase him down, because yes, it would be nice to do some damage to a cruiser, but when a destroyer is spotted, you have to go for the destroyer, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Switch over to HE and start pummeling him. Sadly, he disappears, and he is out of the cap now. We can see that because we are capping. We're going to go ahead, switch fire on over to the Arizona back there, see if we can get a little bit of damage on him, and then launch a set of torps down that little channel right there, just in case he tries to come back in or go back out, just sort of as a way to police and zone that area to prevent him from coming back in. We don't think he is really too much in that area, but it is a nice little way to protect yourself while we can't see the destroyers there. Getting our guns swung back over to the other side, and what pops up but a Fubuki. So we are going to go ahead, switch once again. Not the destroyer we were looking for, but we will absolutely take it. And unfortunately, we were so close to hitting some torps on the Fubuki, but we'll switch over to HE and just start chunking away at him. He's at full broadside. We hit him center mass. Moss also points up in the back. We're going to make sure we stay focused on the one target we have right now. He's closer. We don't need to worry about him disappearing on us, and we take out Fubuki. Gaide, not Moss, is the one in the back, and we're going to go ahead, start hitting him as he pops his smoke. We get one salvo out as he disappears, and nothing. Sadly, he gets away from us, but still, I definitely think I would prefer taking the Fubuki over taking out the Gaide right there. Arizona still spotted, but if we can see, our teams are somewhat tied up, and we both have the same number of caps. And at this point, I think the smarter play is to push for D. The majority of our team is off by A, and that means that's probably where their team is going to push. So if we can go to D, we can do two different tasks at the same time. The first, we can capture D. And if we can capture D, we can go ahead, start getting a points delta in our favor, start expanding that lead, exactly what we want to do as far as the team play goes. And second, if we have ships decide to push through center towards our team at A or C, we now have a nice crossfire that we can use our splendid AP on, and that will also really help us and do us some favors. So kind of a two for play right here. One, making sure that we continue to try to grow our lead, and to try to get some damage on some other ships. Also, I'm not gonna lie, probably also trying to hunt down that New Orleans. We spotted him earlier, and we kind of want to finish off the prey. We know he's a cruiser that we can easily take on. Arizona out there, and we know we're spotted, and one guy is targeting us, most likely going to be that destroyer. And we see, as we kind of come on this line, that we are no longer being spotted. So what we're going to do is try to stay on this line, hit the ship in full reverse, because we know if we stay in this area, we can shoot without consequence, without being spotted by the Arizona. We have free DPM. We have free damage to take on the Arizona. Of course, as we get stopped, we get spotted once more, and movement is our defense in this ship, so we need to get moving once more. Sadly, Arizona is in full reverse, and he is able to start spotting us as we shoot him. But luckily for us, he is not able to shoot us before we capture D, meaning we are now 3-1 on capture points, giving us a relatively nice points delta of like +4 every couple of seconds, which does add up quite quickly. We get another salvo on the Arizona, or another fire on the Arizona. Arizona sadly disappears, and all of our consumables are on cooldown, but thankfully they're about to come back. That is one of the other nice things I really like about the Algiers. She has a bunch of consumables, and ships that have a bunch of consumables have utility, and I love having that utility, just because it gives you options. It gives you plays that you can make. It lets you have it, and the way we have him built out, we have plenty of consumables to burn throughout a match. Luckily, we can see torpedoes coming in, so we're going to go ahead, turn in, and make sure that we are not in trouble by those. We can see now pretty much their whole team has pushed into this B section. Switch over to AP, because New Orleans is looking at full health and pointed not at us. He is full broadside, and here is the power of the beautiful AP coming out of some French ships. First salvo is away, and we take a third of his health with 2 citadels. The other thing we're doing is we are charging in, and that's because we need to try to make it so that that battleship's guns can't shoot us. We just took a massive hit from him as we take another massive salvo out of the New Orleans, bringing us up to nearly 90,000 damage. New Orleans turns out, and we fire our loaded AP salvo. Sadly, not enough to kill him, but we do take out his rear gun. We switch on over to HE, see the destroyer pop up, think about shooting at him. He goes down, and then New Orleans left with just a sliver of health. And unfortunately, the dispersion gods or the aim gods, we didn't really aim in on there. Unfortunately, not able to take down New Orleans. Hopefully, it doesn't cost us too much because he fires back. Luckily, we were able to take him down. He starts a fire on us, only does 461 damage. Thankfully, our speed boost is back. That Arizona was thankfully taken down by our teammates. Colorado coming down towards us now. We're going to go ahead. French ship does have really good torpedoes. The range on them is really good, 10 kilometers. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Go ahead, set up some zoning torps just right in that gap once again. That way, if he decides to make the turn and come for us, we are going to be able to hit him. Also, we got the aim indicator saying, hey, guess what? You can go ahead, shoot the Colorado. Couple shells hit the rocks, but a couple land, and we set what is going to be a fire on him. And we're just going to keep an eye on our damage counter because we're going to assume it's a permanent fire until we stop seeing that damage tick around. Colorado not having much damage, and we are kind of pushing towards B. The idea being we saw that destroyer go, and if I was that destroyer, I'd probably be heading towards our teammates to try to get them. But this destroyer actually goes towards C, so we switch on our sonar. We see Gaide gets picked up, and we are going to go ahead and finish this last guy on their team. In that time, we did also capture B, so we got some nice extra points for that. Gaide, first salvo, takes a nice good chunk out of him. Secondaries start firing around, and now it is just a matter of time for us to finish off this Gaide and wrap the game. Next salvo out, and he turns in, and we just catch the tail end of him, and he has next to no health, and we are just waiting on that final salvo. Our secondary set a fire. Fire takes him down, and that is game. And that is goodbye to the Algiers. Fun ship. I really enjoyed her, but I can't wait to start playing Charles Martel. Guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.